Hello guys, it's Leapfrog, back yet again. I've got an update here on the Open Asymmetry board. This is something that I was going to release and put the project out there on like GitHub or something so people can get it and build it. So they can access the schematic. It's really simple. There's not a lot to this circuit. I gotta remove this extra trace here. We got some goofiness going right here, but this is basically a first attempt at KiCad. Just getting familiar with the software. I actually did another board. Came out a little better than this one. Go ahead and pull that one up for you real quick. But yeah, let me go ahead and show you the schematic actually of this board. And one thing that I need to clarify, this is not the wabi sabi that CB Freaker was doing. Okay, this is just a Darwinton modulator. It's my interpretation of what he was doing, but I don't have mine set up like he has his. My configuration, my schematic is different. Mine's a little more basic, minus the extra parallel output regulator. But basically, the schematic is very simple. We have a 7808, which in practice I wouldn't use a fixed 8 volt voltage source there for the carrier. I would use something a little more adjustable. But there's not a whole lot to this circuit. Basically right here, what we have is just the modulation indication circuit out of a TRC 427. So I just added this in. The LED is it's over here somewhere, the LED. But basically this is just a simple circuit. LED will flash when you add modulation. I just did that so that there's some kind of indicator on the board. I don't know, people seem to like lights and stuff, so. Alright, this is labeled as a 2N3904, and that's correct. You could use a 2N222, it doesn't matter. They're the same thing basically. Over here we have the carrier circuit out of a Cobra 148. I took the same ref des and component values and just put them in this schematic. So like you see R194, R196, VR10, C173, all of these come right out of the 148. And there's only one regulator in the Cobra 148. So it's kind of where the schematic starts to differ a little bit. And we have this 2,220 microfarad capacitor. Make that 2,200 mic. There's a few extra caps that I've added in here and there. Basically, this capacitor here is for the receiver. So you have your terminal here. Go back to the 3D view, and I'll show you. So you'll have your receive signal right here. This board doesn't have a relay. There's no provision for switching. Basically, this is bare bones. Run it off your preamp, or of course just feed it an external signal. But the issue with bypassing the preamp going directly to the high-level audio IC is that in receive you'll actually have your in transmit you'll actually have your audio come out through the speaker. Like a talkback, which is not what we want. So, that's when you have an external audio input source going to the board and you do not have it keyed up and you're going directly to the high-level audio IC. You'll get your audio source going through your speaker. And if I sound tired, it's because I am. But anyway, this one's got the dual regulators. This board could be a lot smaller. I mean, really all you need is the 2N3904, the output regulator, a few resistors, and a voltage regulator for your carrier bias circuit. So let's go ahead and go over here. R193 could be omitted. I've done it myself. I've omitted that before. It does help though to get some of that DC across without putting all the stress on the regulators. And then these two here are 0.1, just to kind of help balance these two guys out. But alright, so that's the Open Asymmetry board. This is going to be open source. Anybody can build this if they want to. They can, send the files to some board house and have them made, a dime a dozen, and populate it and all that. I made it through hole because it's a kit. It's serviceable. It's something that anybody can put together with a Walmart soldering iron. So I didn't want to make this so it's out of reach for the average hobbyist. I wanted this to be something that you could easily build yourself and implement. And there will be several videos about the Open Asymmetry Project. Probably going to be a GitHub or a SourceForge page for all the resources there and the KiCad files. But the schematic is so simple that if you're good at board design, it won't take you but, I don't know, 20 minutes and you'll be done. If you have all the layout and footprints and everything in KiCad. But, okay, so that's the Open Asymmetry. It's not a wabi-sabi. Let me clarify there. I kind of did this to myself, but I was working on this modification with CB Freaker, okay, for quite a while. We spent time sending emails back and forth. Eventually, I kind of went my own way with it. He went his own way with it, and he's getting better results doing what he's doing. But I'm not the kind of person that wants to copy somebody, so I got to change this here. That's going to be an issue. But anyway, the wabi-sabi is not the Open Asymmetry. The Open Asymmetry is a public project that is created by me. It's going to be released so anybody can build it. The wabi-sabi is a modification that CB Freaker was doing on his radios, and he went further than just putting in the regulator. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so a wabi-sabi is more than just a regulator. And I've been falsely calling a lot of my AM regulator projects wabi-sabi just because I kind of like that terminology. I like what it means. Something that's broken or incomplete can still be beautiful, and you can still mend things and they have a use. So this board does not have any kind of compression or limiting, so you're going to have to do it externally. But I believe that's the case when you use like an Asymod or a motor mouth mall board. I believe that's the same thing. You pretty much have to use external processing. But I like using something like this in a preamp with a modified preamp in the radio, and that's because you don't have to worry about the extra switching circuit, which is simple. It's 2 transistors or a relay, but you don't have to worry about the switching of your audio source. But anyway, guys, that's the Open Asymmetry board. It's going to look probably different before I get a couple printed out. Of course, I'm going to go through this and redo it. This is just kind of a preliminary thing, but let's try to change this. Let's see. Give it a custom look. Silk screen is white, go blue, and then we'll change the mask to white. It's not bad. Alright, well, that's a little bit about the Open Asymmetry Project. I mean, you guys seen the schematic in the video. There's not a lot to it. It's really simple. Basically, the inspiration came from Reverend Bo. Shout out to you, Reverend Bo. I never met you. I don't think I've even corresponded with you online. Not that I remember anyway, but shout out to Rev Bo. Appreciate you posting the Bastard Modulation Engineering Project, the BME or something like that. Rev Bo's Bastard Modulator or something like that. Appreciate it, Reverend Bo. Appreciate it, CB Freaker. Man, you're awesome. Appreciate your help and all the email correspondences. This circuit's pretty simple once you figure it out. I guess you could say that about anything. Oh yeah, it's simple once you figure it out. But I like the little modulation circuit, and I like this. This is all United's work, basically. I hate to say that. Okay, it's been so many years though. The engineers that worked on this stuff, who knows where they're at now? If they're still around, if they're retired or what. But this is right out of United's 148. This is right out of the TRC 427. So take that for what it is. But basically, these two parts right here, they're in every other board that does the same thing this board does. So that would be like your Asymod, your motor mouth mall modulator. So for something that you can build for $20 worth of parts, throw it in your radio yourself, direct inject, wideband your signal, for testing purposes, of course. This is the project for you. This isn't something that you're going to spend a $100 bill on, have some guy put it in, get charged $200 for the install, and then still need a bunch of rack gear and external limiter, compression, all that. No, this is to get you into the wideband hi-fi signal game for about $20 is what this is. This is a do-it-yourself project that puts the power in your hands. So how wide your signal is dependent upon how wide your audio input is. Alright guys, I hope that was enjoyable. Hopefully you could actually read this schematic. I apologize that I don't have this with a screen capture, a proper screen capture. So, hope this video was watchable. I hope that you got all the pieces of the schematic if you want to build this. If you do the dual regulators, make sure they're from the same lot. You want them to be matched. You don't want them to be like, oh, this one's from 2006 and this one's from 1975 or something. So, anyway, I'm getting tired, guys. It's getting early. I'll probably be hearing the roosters crow before I get to bed, but it's just one of them nights. So, I hope y'all are doing well out there. Enjoy the hobby. Enjoy radio. Don't let the drama get to you. There's a lot of BS in this hobby. A lot of social media junk as far as CB radio. So, I'm kind of moving away from the Citizens Band stuff. I'll probably be going more into like automotive and just doing different things that are electronics related. But yeah, I kind of get turned off by the CB radio anymore. There's so many people that are pushing a narrative and trying to buy likes, and they're trying to just delete comments they don't agree with, and they're just trying to keep this public image like they're this big old shop. Oh, no walk-ins. Oh, no walk-ins. Why not? Oh, wait a minute, you don't have an actual brick and mortar store. But you couldn't really gather that from looking at their online content, There's one guy out there, he took a picture from somebody else's radio shop and put it on his Google page. And I was like, what, dude? Really? Anyway, guys, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and show you the other board real quick because I got you here, so show you a little real-time programming I've been working on. Something simple, and this is for Honda Civic OBD1 ECU. And let's go ahead and view the 3D layout, see what it looks like. So this was originally done by Obeni back in 2009. With a little bit of Google Kung Fu, I was able to find his files on his server, and he didn't include any kind of program files for Eagle or KiCad, but he did include an overlay, a schematic, and from that I was able to create a bill of materials and basically a replica of his board. But my layout was a little bit different. I kind of got lazy at the end and had the auto router do it, but a low profile OBD1, so you can modify your Honda ECU, change the fuel and timing, and turn your check engine light into a shift light, remove the rev limiter, whatever you want to do. Blow the thing up. To go to the drag strip and take your economy car and make it faster. Whatever. Alright guys, that's it from Leapfrog. I'm out of here. I'm getting tired, like I said. Hope y'all enjoyed this little update. And there'll be more coming with Lee's 2000. And I've got another 2000 in the mix. So take care, and there'll be more updates coming. 73.